Welcome back everyone. I'm Madam Rosliza Ali. So in this video, I will continue with the other subtopic in chapter 4, which is sample preservation and storage, sample preparations, and eliminating interference. First, let's take a look at the steps involved in the analytical measurements process. Why sample preservation is crucial? Preservation is important to minimize physical, chemical, and biological changes of sample during storage and transportation. The compositions of the sample may change with time due to the reaction with air, reactions with light, absorption of moisture, and reaction with the container. Samples that are well preserved can prevent decompositions, precipitations of metals, loss of water from hygroscopic materials, and loss of volatile analyte from water samples. Preservation and storage can be done by first, refrigeration, second is additions of preservative, and the third is the use of proper sample container. So what type of container is suitable for the storage of sample? For solid sample, it is easier to be kept since it has less chance to be adulterated by the foreign metal. But for liquid sample, it is better to be kept in bottle with stoppers. Bottle can be made from glass or plastic or amber glass bottles. Now we move to preparing a laboratory samples. Solids are usually ground to a suitable particulate size to get a homogeneous samples, and solid need to be dry to get rid of absorptions of water. Drying of solid is important to ensure the exact weight is obtained during quantitative chemical analysis. For samples that are sensitive to heat, drying must be carried out in desiccator. Problem associated with the drying of sample is sample might decompose at high temperature. Drying of solid can be done by using oven. Solid samples are dried in the oven at 105 to 110 degrees C for 1 to 2 hours. For plant and tissue samples can be dried by heating. Replicates are samples of about the same size that are carried through an analysis in exactly the same way. Replicates improve the quality of results and provide reliable results. Usually, chemists prepare 2 to 5 replicates of sample through the entire analytical procedure. Most analyses are performed on solutions of the sample made with a suitable solvent. Therefore, for solid sample, it must be converted into a solution form. In order to prepare solutions of a sample, a solvent must be chosen that will dissolve the entire sample completely without decomposing the analytes. So this conversion is actually difficult and time-consuming task. Listed here is the sources of error while the compositions and dissolutions of sample, losses of analyte by volatilizations, incomplete dissolutions of the analytes, introductions of analyte as a solvent contaminant, and contaminations from the reactions of the solvent with the vessel wall. The decompositions of solid material can be done by many ways. It includes acid decomposition or wet etching, combustion or dry etching, microwave, and fusion. Our syllabus just focusing on the decompositions of solid sample by dry etching and wet etching. Now let's take a look at the dry etching procedure. First, the sample need to be put in the muffle furnace. Here, all the organic compounds will be burned into ash in the presence of oxygen, leaving all the minerals in the form of oxide, sulfate, phosphate, or silicates. Since dry etching method it uses very high temperature of a muffle furnace, some of the elements may be partially lost due to the volatilizations. So in order to assist the recovery of certain elements, etching aid may be added. If sample is liquid and wet tissues, it needs to be dried first on the steam bath or gentle heat before placing it in a muffle furnace. Heat from the furnace must be gradually increased to prevent rapid combustion and foaming. Later, the ash is dissolved in acid. These are the advantages and disadvantages of the dry etching technique. Now we move to wet etching technique. It is technique to decompose of an organic material into ash by treatment with a boiling oxidizing acid or mixture of acid. Wet etching procedure usually performed in Jeddah flask. It can use single acid reagent or a mixture of acids, and this acid will be boiled off during the digestion process. And the temperature of the decomposition is the boiling point of the acid reagents. More rapid wet etching can be obtained by using a mixture of acid, such as aqua regia or mixture of nitric acid and sulfuric acids. If perchloric acid is used, special film hood is required. Are the list of advantages and disadvantages of wet etching technique. The last part will be the eliminating of interference. So what is interference? Interference is the species other than analyte of interest that will affect the final measurement. It will cause an error in the analysis. Method to remove interference may include separation step, namely precipitation, chromatography, distillation, dialysis, or extractions into immiscible solvent.